Did you play sports growing up?
I played soccer and rode dirt bikes and that kind of stuff.
Oh gosh, so nothing with your hand?
Well, I do farming. I don't know if you know that. So.
Hey guys, today we're talking episode 8 of Farmer Wants a Wife.
That's right.
Yep.
Narrowing it down to 2.
Yep, getting down to the nitty gritty, as they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I bet some of these ladies wish they were getting litty titty. The way this stuff's been going here.
Okay. I mean, sure.
Yeah, a lot of hearts getting broken here at the end, man.
Yeah.
Could use a little more alcohol on the show, I think, for some of these people.
Maybe. I mean.
Anyways, Juliana is trying to figure out what she's going to do. What do we think about Juliana in this situation?
Yeah, honestly, I just feel bad for her. I feel bad for all the new girls that came because with only 4 weeks of filming, like I said last time, they should not have brought new people in, I mean, there was no way on hell that these new girls are going to get a chance to get to know the farmers as much as the other girls had, so they really didn't stand a shot. So I kind of felt bad for all these girls at this point.
It's normally how it goes every season. I don't know I don't think they did it the first season, but that's how it kind of went last season.
Yeah, but last season they had 8 weeks of filming. This time they cut it in half. So these women had a heck of a lot less time.
But this is the last one-on-one dates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they go on their one-on-one dates. Claire is hanging out with John.
Is it John or is it J? At some point in time, she says something. She says his name, and I was like, did she say Jeff or J? I had to go back and rewind it, and it did not sound like John. And then I put the subtitles on, and it said John, but I think she got his name wrong. I'm just saying.
I don't know, maybe so.
Today could possibly be a turning point for me and John.
After you.
Thank you.
I didn't catch that.
But they do some roping, and she's a natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, she nailed it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he's impressed.
He was excited.
was.
She
He
was
was
like,
impressed.
all right, I did it. Cool.
Yeah.
And that's when they have their conversation, and they're really on different spectrums, as we kind of learned last week a bit too. But
Yeah.
he says something like faith, family, and something else.
Faith, family, and work.
Yeah, and she's like, in that order? And he's like, yeah, I think so.
She's like, well, I ain't got nothing to do with faith.
I mean, she understands that other people do, and that's cool.
Yeah.
But it's really got no place for her.
She's like, and look, I turned out just fine without faith. And he
Yeah.
was like, oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. He's like, we just went 2 different routes, but we both became good people, So
Now, he
values.
does ask her, is that something you're looking to explore, or would you be willing to do that? And she's like, yeah.
Yeah,
And I
she
think that
would.
kind of saved her, because if she's
Oh.
like, nah, I'm not really
Yeah,
into that. That could
well-
be your thing, not my thing.
Yeah,
We've
no-
seen this time and time again in
Oh,
these
yeah.
reality shows, especially when it comes to religion,
Mhm.
Like, you say you're willing to explore it, but are you willing to explore
Yeah,
it?
exactly.
I think she would be.
She didn't hesitate.
No,
so
she
that
seemed like
was
she'd
a
be
good.
open-minded about it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, but for someone who, like, he does seem very driven by it. Like, it's his number one.
Mhm.
It's not like, yeah, I went to church and I believe in God and I'm religious, but like, it's his number one.
Yeah, he said it was.
Yeah, and for her she's not even flirted with religion at this point. Like, I don't know. That's tough.
Now, what I do like what he says, he's like, are you willing to let me be a man? And I like that. I think that's important these days.
Oh, it definitely is. No doubt about it.
I don't want to be in this room right now.
So,
I'm uncomfortable.
Oh, man.
yeah, I like what I'm hearing from John. I'm about to date John.
I'm gonna no comment on this one.
He hit a sore spot there, huh, Ashley?
I'm gonna no comment because
But-
it'll get cut anyway. So
But I don't really see much chemistry with these two, though, as they're
Nah, see,
talking
and
and
that's
stuff.
the thing. I really didn't see much chemistry either.
he says
Yeah.
it's there though.
And then,
Like he.
And then at the end when they had that kiss, even that seemed kind of awkward
It
for a minute.
did.
It seemed very like awkward kiss. Like she kept kind of pulling away, and they kind of going for another peck. And I just thought the whole moment was kind of awkward.
I thought it was pretty intimate, actually, with the kiss, because I think got done seeing Matt, and I'm like, compared to that, it was pretty
Well,
decent.
I think she pulled away because I mean she wasn't sure. Like, is this appropriate? Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
maybe,
wish.
I don't know.
Well, John,
It seemed like, is this going to be a long kiss? Was this just like a kiss? And then, this is we're going to
It's
be
gonna be a
making
kiss,
out.
right,
We're
yeah.
I think
making
she
out,
was
okay.
caught off guard because
Yeah.
John hasn't been kissing people, and he kissed someone for the first time last week,
Right,
Right.
exactly.
and now he's doing a goodbye kiss to her, which I thought was kind of odd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was too, but maybe when Nathan's like, hey, Maybe kiss one of these girls and see how you feel about them,
He's
Yeah,
like, I'm
maybe
gonna
took
kiss.
that to heart.
Kiss two of them.
I'm gonna kiss the rest of them. I don't know.
He's like,
I don't know. I get definitely. He keeps talking about how they play off of each other with their humor and stuff. So I see more of a friendship kind of vibe with them. But then he did kiss her, so like I don't know.
yeah. I mean, I still think Lily's a better fit at this point, but
Yeah.
at least
I
we did
think
see a little
Lily's got
something
it in
there.
the bag.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, you got two real like structural life differences with the vegetarian and a hunter, and then no religion and like.
And
faith
supposedly
is the
that's the
number one
most
driver.
important. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
those are two real like structural life like foundations that aren't going to mesh well.
Yeah. So we move over to Keeley and Colton
So
on
we're
their
done with
date.
that now.
We're done with it.
And they go riding, which, they're covering all the bases with all these
Right,
one-on-one
yeah,
dates,
exactly.
really. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
what do they think of
I mean,
these?
they seem having a good time, and of course they have their serious conversation where she's like, "Look, I've got this, ovarian disorder thing where I get cystic ovaries, and make it be hard for me to have kids, and
Kid's a little chunky, too.
and you could cause me to gain weight." And he was like, "But
Again, really uncomfortable sitting in front of two men right now. Like that's what you guys picked up on from
She
that.
could get a
didn't
little,
say it.
she could get a little chunky.
She listed the things that could happen from
Yeah, she did.
PCOS, which is something in my career field I experience all the time. Like I have patients with this all the time.
That's just America.
There's multiple symptoms. She mentioned that one symptom, and then there's a bunch of other symptoms, but the main one she was concerned about getting through to him was the possibility of infertility.
Exactly.
And the two things you guys pick up on more than anything was the weight gain.
I didn't say that. I
You
said
just said it.
I said the infertility. This guy said the weight gain.
I don't know, man.
He said the weight gain, and I said, "Yep, she did say that." So, but the first
boy.
things I said was the infertility. That was the first thing I
boy.
said.
Jeez,
Okay.
You're not listening.
Unbelievable.
Oh man.
Yeah, so she reveals that. Colton seems
He seemed
like it
cool
brought
about
it
it, dude.
closer.
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
actually.
he was like, "Whoa, okay." He's like, "Look, man, I've been greatly blessed, with my son." He's like, "If I have more kids, that'd be great. I'd accept with open arms, and if I don't, then I don't." He was like, "But he's like, I'm definitely okay with that." So that was cool of him. I wasn't quite expecting that from him. So when he did that, I was like, "All right, good on you, Colton. That was good."
But is he just being a good guy, or is that a real issue?
He seemed pretty genuine about
Who
it.
knows with this guy?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
who knows? I mean, at that point in time, he's like, we've been talking a lot. We haven't kissed. Like, can we stop talking so we can kiss? Like, that may have been what was going through his head at this point in time. Maybe he was really into the conversation. He was real handsy on this date. I don't know if you noticed when they were riding, he helped her up on the horse. He had to have his hand on her bottom to get up on the horse. When she got off the horse, he had to have his hand on her bottom getting off the
Gotta
horse.
give her that support.
Like, I really, he's handsy.
I would
don't
have my
know.
hand all over that too if I was him.
Right. Yeah. All right. Exactly.
Yeah, until
Exactly.
it gained weight, right? Just
Well, I might have to have two hands.
yeah, there you go. She really would need the support at that point. So supportive, Josh. So supportive.
But yeah.
But overall, it was a good date, man. Yeah, I mean, and like I said, and I was impressed with him the way he handled that conversation.
He did
'cause
handle it
I wasn't
well.
expecting that, and he did seem genuine, or as Josh would say, genuine about it. So it was kudos to Colton. He gained a couple brownie points on that one. So
yeah.
No, he did come across genuine. He did.
did.
He did say all the right things.
Well, and she said she doesn't really ever bring that up or tell anyone about that. So that was kind of nice for her to do too, and
Yeah.
see how he took it. Which,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was good.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then we got Jay and Rissa go fishing. Yeah. It's like, what have we done yet? Oh yeah, the fishing thing. Let's throw that in there.
And his cat, and then within like 3 casts, he freaking busts up his spool, and it's all like he said, I got a rat ass here. He's like, yeah, I think I'm done fishing.
So they weren't too
like,
successful in that. And then they start chatting, and he's quite the homebody. As you would expect a farmer to be. Got all these animals to tend to.
Exactly, and we've had people mention that in our comments about
Yeah.
this, but she keeps, she's like, hey, I really want to travel. That's part of what I want to do. And he tells her, look, dude, I'm a farmer. I got animals I got to take care of. They ain't going to take care of themselves.
He doesn't sound like, even if he wasn't, he says he's a homebody. Like he doesn't even really desire to travel.
Yeah.
And then
He's got responsibilities.
yeah.
right.
So then there's the responsibilities on top of that. So that's why all that works well for him.
Yeah, and I think that part of the conversation right there was enough for him to just be like,
Yeah.
all right, this just ain't gonna
Yeah,
work.
that was like a red alert to him.
Yeah.
I mean, they're supposed to be moving closer on these dates, but
yeah.
she mentions that, and it's like, full on breaks.
Which is great. which is great that he says, I don't want to, change anybody. I don't want to have them change their lifestyle or what they wanted out of life for me. Because, that's only going to result in resentment and problems. Because eventually she'll say, like, yeah, it's okay. I could maybe travel from time to time or whatever. And then she'll resent him for it. It would be a problem in the future.
Well, because, last week, at first, because the first couple weeks we thought for sure, we know what Jay wants. And then last week it was like, what the hell does this guy want? Can't seem to make his mind. But at least this time he showed, like, look, that's a red line there. We can't do that. So I was glad to see him do that.
Yeah, and these guys gotta get it down. They gotta really start figuring out which one they want to end up with. So I guess he's just like, you know what? Let's just end it right here.
Now I wonder if he goes back and talks to the other girls about why that didn't work, because
probably so. He seemed like an honest dude. I'm sure he probably did.
Karina is one that I think he's leaning towards Karina of the other two, but she's got family in Wisconsin. Is that where she's from?
I don't know.
It's somewhere up north. It's far away.
Yeah, it's up north.
So she doesn't want to necessarily travel, and she can settle down on the farm. But there's got to be some kind of what do you mean by you don't want to travel?
I'm sure, trips once a year or something to go visit family, probably fine.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
I just feel like that might be a conversation they should possibly have.
Yeah. Well, if it's a red line for him, then and maybe she's not the only one that feels that way.
Exactly.
Who knows?
She's been vocal about that, but if the other two haven't been vocal about it, maybe they just haven't thought about bringing that up. I do want to go on vacations every year and do stuff.
We move over to Matt and Chelsi, and what haven't we done yet? I guess we'll throw some axe throwing in there.
Yeah, that's right. Chelsi was killing it.
Yeah. And Matt, it's not like he's a pro at this. Is I think his first time as well. So.
Well, Matt doesn't seem like Matt's got very much of athletic abilities. He's like, well, I played a little soccer when I was a kid, and
she made a good joke about it. It's like, oh, you didn't do anything with your hands.
He's like, well, I'm a farmer. I work with my hands.
A little farming on the side.
You're good at picking them avocados and what are those lime things that they're
finger limes.
Finger limes, yeah.
Those look interesting.
Yeah.
So we got no moves Matt over here. You know what I mean? This guy, he's got no game really.
And he finally pulls one out.
Well, it was awkward if you ask me. Even the kissing was awkward.
And again, here's where these people get stupid. Oh, I wish we didn't have microphones on. Oh, let's try to go hide over here so we can kiss. It's like, bro, you're on a freaking show where damn well people are kissing on camera and stuff. You can't get away from the cameras. So what are you even doing?
Maybe you should try and make
and then they kiss. When they're out in the open anyway.
Maybe you should make a romantic moment out of it or something. Especially with the girl you mimight end up with. And then you have an awesome keepsake and something to remember the times.
Their romantic moment was trying to hide from the camera.
Right, Because he says his parents have been married for 44 years or something like that. So, and you got time.
Oh, yeah.
You got time.
Yeah, so he's like, I'm not one to try to rush things. I want to take my time with it. And she was like, yeah, I'm right there with you. So.
Well, how old is he?
32, 30 or 32? I think he's 30.
Okay, well, I think his parents, if they're getting married, if they're married for 44 years, they probably got married before 32.
Oh, I'm sure they probably did. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I don't
how
know.
much time does he have if he wants to be married for that long?
Yeah.
I do like how he doesn't rush into things, but I think he's a little awkward with it though. At the same time.
Well, Matt's just an awkward dude. Period. He's just he's a very weird, introverted kind of guy, and he's just a very weird guy to begin with.
Do you think he's that awkward in real life, or maybe he's just a little more awkward?
I would hope
to
think
cameras?
He's a little more comfortable without the cameras. I would hope so.
Hopefully.
You would hope.
And these guys,
he's got all these women around.
Yeah, these guys are in an awkward position. If that was actually their lady, I'm sure they'd be doing things differently.
Hopefully.
Yeah, maybe so.
Hopefully. Otherwise, that's probably why he's been single for so long.
True.
Right, that's true.
But they get the letter like, hey, guys, you got to send the lady home if they haven't already. So some of these guys are under the gun here to send someone home, especially Colton of all of them. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Well, but before that, the good thing for the two of the guys, though, is they didn't have to worry about a letter because they had two women leave, right?
Yeah.
She left, and then we didn't really need to talk about the, what's her name too much, but, she's Juliana, but she's sitting out there, petting the dog and,
She looks so good,
doing her
comfortable
Sudoku.
out there with the dog.
She's having a good time out there, and then,
I would ask if I got to take the dog with me.
Yeah. John comes out to talk to her, and he's like, look, what are you thinking? And she kind of self-eliminates there, and he's like, he's like, I think you're right. That's probably fair to you and fair to me and fair to everybody else. So
we'll seal this with a hug.
This is what we all want. Just go.
Yeah, just get out. But again, I did feel bad for her because, there's just not enough time to bring new girls on with only 4 weeks of filming. So
Yeah, I actually think he was kind of into her, but it just
Yeah.
wasn't enough time to make it happen.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the way he was so dismissive of her, though, like I almost wish he hadn't have brought her back.
Well, I notice anytime a woman self-eliminates with him, he kind of just goes with the flow.
Mm-hmm.
These guys don't really talk people down when they say, I want to go.
No,
you know?
they don't.
It's like,
They're like, okay, well, sorry you feel that way.
it's not like, are you
Peace.
sure? You know, I really do want you. Just stick around
Yeah.
and let's see.
Oh,
if they don't do that.
No, they definitely don't.
Well, they got other choices.
And none of them do that.
No,
They got
yeah,
options.
and we're about to talk about one where it happens
Right.
again, where I thought for sure he was going to do that, and he didn't. I was like, damn.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
It is kind of funny. They get the letter. Matt's like, well, I got to put these girls to work before. Get rid
Got
of
some work
Molly
to do around
crap.
here.
I better get some work out of her before she leaves. So.
He's like, tonight I gotta let one go. Let's go pick some finger lines.
That's
Let's
right.
go.
It's like thorn bushes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, Bailee pulls Colton to the side and she says, the spark's kind of fading. I want you to kind of pursue me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and Colton's like, yeah, this is hard on me too.
Yeah, he's like, well, yeah, because he's
been real tough. It's been real tough.
Well, because he's doing the tractor stuff, right? Yeah, so he's got the girls on the tractor, puts them all up there, and they all seem to do well. And then I guess Keeley did the best. He was saying, he's like, man, she was just riding on the ball, just doing it good. But yeah, and then Bailee pulls him aside, and he's like, yeah, I get it. I understand. Yeah, can we talk about this tonight?
Yeah.
And you could tell she is definitely looking to be reassured at this
Oh,
point.
absolutely.
And he's not
1000%.
giving it to her.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. And I said this last week. And I said, I think he got too comfortable that she would think that, she's always there. So I can explore these other options.
Yeah, no, I think you're right about
She's
that.
now telling you, I'm not always going to be here. You need to pursue me. And he's still not pursuing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you something.
And Colton doesn't really look like he's doing anything to determine who he wants to send
No,
home
he's
at
not.
this point.
I mean, even at the one-on-ones with a camera, with him just camera, he's like, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to choose. He's like, I got three
Yeah.
great girls here. I can see it going with either one of them, and I just don't know.
I think he's going to let them choose.
Yeah, well, it kind of seemed that way here.
Yeah, well, he's procrastinating, and then later on, Bailee pulls him to the side again.
Yeah, at the last minute there, for like, hey, this is it. You got to get rid of one of us, and I don't feel like you're, again, I told you I don't think you're pursuing me. I just don't feel like I feel like our connection's slipping, and it sucks. And he was like, yeah, sorry, you feel
Yeah,
that way.
and she's like, I'm thinking about, and then she kind of pauses because I don't think she wants to say the words, but she says them, but they're not strong, right?
Yeah.
And she's hoping he's going to reel
Right.
her in, like you were saying. She's hoping he's going to be like, no, dude, I really want you to be here.
But he's
Bailey.
like, you said the words, so you gotta go.
You gotta
Thank you. I don't got to do it now.
I didn't know who to send home, but it seems like you're really leaning to go. So
Because she
Yeah,
says,
you
I'm
gotta
thinking
go.
about going home. He's kind of like, well, okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait a minute. I was
Yeah,
hoping this would spur a conversation, I think,
Yeah.
more so than this being finalized.
I thought that was a really shit move on his part, because he's not taking any ownership at all right now.
Yeah.
He's so undecided on which ones he won. He's not taking any ownership on it. And the way that went down, man, I was like, that's pretty messed up.
Because I actually think Bailey's pretty good for him,
Oh, definitely.
but yeah, I mean, I get her side too. Like, if this guy's not going to do anything
no.
to support me here.
Especially after
Yep.
she pulled him aside the first time
Oh, yeah.
and then she pulled him aside the second time. At that point in time, you have to go. What's the point?
Yep.
He's got to send somebody home anyway, and he's
Yeah.
still not reassuring you. He's sending somebody home in the next couple of hours. Like, if you're not getting the reassurance right now, why stay?
Yeah, exactly.
So she self-eliminates question mark here, but she ends up going home. And I wonder if they don't show anything with this, but I wonder if this gives the other two girls pause to like, is he like really choosing us here?
Maybe, I don't know. And what did he tell them about how that conversation went down too? Did he tell them, hey, she's self-eliminating?
Probably
I
said
don't know.
like she decided to go home.
Yeah, probably.
I
Yeah.
was like, oh.
And they're like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right, yeah, exactly.
But it's like,
Yeah.
well, what if she didn't decide to go home? Who
That's
would
a good
just
question.
home? You
Exactly.
know what I mean? And I
Exactly.
don't know if it would be Bailee, quite honestly.
I don't either.
Yeah, I don't know either. I think he was hoping for someone to self-eliminate.
I think he was. I absolutely 100% think he was hoping somebody would
I think this was the best case scenario for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it was unfortunate for Bailee because, I thought
I think it was fortunate for
I thought,
Bailee. In the long run for her.
In the long run, yeah, but I thought she got done dirty right there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's smart though, because like the way Colton is, and if he's going to be like that, then maybe you are better off,
yeah,
Maybe it ain't
she
gonna
probably,
work, so
it's
I
like
don't know.
Ashley said, she's probably better off in the
Yeah.
long run.
Exactly.
So now Matt has to get rid of someone too, and they're all together, and then he
Halleh, yeah.
yeah,
She asked for a one-on-one, and
And that's dangerous at this point.
Oh, yeah, it is. Well, and the thing is, they were going to get up, and then the two ladies were like, hey, we'll just go get some more wine. And it was like, oh, thanks, guys. You know?
She's like, I get to sit here and have this conversation.
that's right.
Amazing.
Yeah, and he just doesn't see a romantic connection with her.
Right. Well, the way he starts it out, he's like, oh, yeah, I just love our time together, Halleh. You're so great. You know, everything I see about you is just amazing and all this. And just talking her up how great she is. But it's like, you know, she was probably getting like all feeling good and everything. And he puts that button there.
That whole conversation
like, oh,
from the get-go, you could tell it was leading up to a...
Yeah, I don't know. At first, I thought she was probably feeling pretty good about it.
Nah.
Just because you started crying almost immediately.
Like, we just immediately, get along so well. I just hope you know how much I love, like, everything about you.
Yeah.
I have a special place for you.
And when he said that button, started saying that. So.
I thought that was a very amicable end. I thought she kind of knew it was coming.
Well, maybe she sees that. Well, I mean, they probably see that Chelsi's the one at this point. It seems obvious to me.
Yeah.
Chelsi's the one. I don't think he's going to choose
You
Jordyn
thought the
over
other
her.
girl was the one last week.
Hey, no, we thought she should have been the one, not she wasn't.
But
that's a difference.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it's probably in her best interest to leave because I think he's already decided on Chelsi.
Yeah.
But
And it's sad to
I do
she's
like
getting
her,
rejected,
and I
so
thought
that's
they
sad.
were a pretty good fit together.
Yeah, well, especially at first. I mean, they did. They hit it off pretty well right off the bat. They were getting along, you know. They caused all that drama, you know, whatever happened there.
They did not. There's no way they went off and had a night together. No way.
No way.
No way.
But yeah, I mean, I would have probably got rid of Jordyn personally.
Yeah, I mean, he did. I mean, because he just hasn't developed any kind of connection with Jordyn. Like, really, we haven't seen. Yeah, we haven't seen really much of anything between. Yeah, since that first night. And I thought he probably would have gotten rid of her. So when he picked Halleh, and it kind of surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, and I thought there was a little bit of a spark there to at least like pursue. So
yeah,
I mean, I don't know if he's already chosen Chelsi. It doesn't really matter, and I think that is the case here.
Maybe he has a type though.
He's digging his blondes, man.
Yeah, maybe he has a type.
Just like I think John is chosen Lily.
Yeah, I think John's picked Lily too. This
and she kind of came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, but he seems to me all in on her.
Oh yeah.
So we think John and Lily.
Yep.
Matt and Chelsi.
Matt and Chelsi for sure, I think. Yep. And I think
Colton and whatever girl chooses him.
Oh yeah, that one is a freaking.
Whatever
that dude's just gonna flip a
girl
coin.
He's with.
He's gonna go into his room that last night. He's gonna flip a damn coin and say, "Oh, all right, it's hers." You know, and that's how it's gonna work.
What do we think about Jay? I think it's Karina.
I think it's probably gonna be Karina.
Yeah, I think it's going to end up being Karina.
I think it's Karina.
But we'll see how these family visits go this next episode.
Yeah,
man.
that could be.
Yeah, and we'll put up a poll and we'll see what you guys think.
Yeah, you heard what we think exactly. Well, there you have it, folks. That is another episode down. Next week we got the big family visits, and I think it's only with one girl right now. They're going to visit one girl's family, and then they're going to visit their family, and then I guess maybe there'll be another episode visiting more families. I don't know, but I guess we'll find out. But anyway, guys, we love doing this. We love talking to you. So let us know what you thought about this episode, and as always, hit that like and subscribe, and we will check y'all in our next review.